What's up, guys? Today I'm going to help you find the best BMX bike between $500 and $600. All of these bikes at the time of making this video are somewhere in between the $500 and $600 price range. If you're looking at one of these bikes, you need to watch this video till the end to figure out which bike is going to be the best. Now, there are some rules that I came up with while I was creating this. The first rule is that bikes are added to the tournament bracket at random. The specs are then compared side by side. The bikes are scored and the overall score is compared to the other bike. There's a lot of different aspects that go into deciding which bike is better. And when I get to the part about the aftermarket parts, the seat, the grips, the bar ends, the headset, the brake components do not count as aftermarket parts. There are size options on the bikes, and that's a thing that I score, but the size options only pertain to top tube size. So let's say a bike comes in a 20.25 and a 20.5 inch top tube size option. That's two different size options. But a bike that comes in a 20-inch wheel option and a 26-inch wheel option, that doesn't count. Okay, that's completely irrelevant. So let's take a look at the 16 bikes that we have that are going to be going head to head. The first bike is the Wethepeople CRS. Then we have the Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster, the Total Killabee, the Stranger Level, the Fit Street, the Division Fortiz, the Hoffman Psycho, the Sunday Scout, the Fit Park, the Wethepeople Justice, the Cult Devotion, the Hoffman Seeker, the Fit Trail, the Redline Random, the Kink Switch, and the Wethepeople Arcade. Some of these bikes have a year model associated with them, and the 2021 models, the 2022 models, the 2020 models, for the most part, they're all the same. If a company makes any real changes in there, I'll note that. But all the bikes, so if you're watching this in 2025, the bikes are probably the same. I have in-depth reviews on every single one of these bikes. And so if you want to learn more about the bike and you want to make sure that the information is still correct, which it is, double check that in-depth review. All right. Now, also, if you're actually shopping for a bike, you need to request a free bike recommendation. I'll put that up here or up here on the screen. All you do is click it, give me some more information about yourself, and I'll help you find 3 bikes that are absolutely perfect for you. I know there's a ton of different options. There's 16 bikes just in this contest. There's like 80 some 20-inch bikes available right now. It's a daunting process. I'll help you find the right bike so you don't have to. So I'm going to put information about each bike side by side, and then I'm going to go ahead and score them. And a bike will earn a point for the following: if it has the lowest weight, if it has the best frame quality, if it has the best bar quality, if it has the best fork quality, if it has the best rim quality, and based on the number of aftermarket parts, it will score a point if it has more aftermarket parts than the other bike. Like I mentioned earlier, aftermarket parts don't count: headset, pedals, grips, all that other nonsense. It only counts the real parts that actually matter. If a bike has more size options, it's going to score a point. If it has more color options, it's going to score a point. If it has a better quality score, if it has a better value score, and if it has a utility. And so what I mean by utility is that if a bike is designed for a specific type of riding, for example, the Fit Park is designed for park-specific riding, while the Kink Whip is more of an overall bike. It doesn't have a specific utility. So in that case, the Fit Park is going to score a point in that section. And then the bike gets a point whether or not it's a core BMX brand. So those are all the rules. That's everything you need to know about this little contest here. Let's get right into it with our first 2 bikes. Okay, the Wethepeople CRS versus the Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster. Both of these bikes are free coaster specific bikes, and let's see which bike is actually better. So the price of both these bikes is about the same. They both cost around $509. The Subrosa Salvador is going to weigh a little bit less at 25.9 pounds. They both only come in one size option, but the Wethepeople CRS has 2 different color options for you to choose from. Both of these bikes are core BMX brands. They do a lot for the sport. They contribute to the BMX economy. And both of these bikes score a point for utility factor because they're both free coasters, meaning they're street specific. They're going to perform better for a certain type of riding. Free coasters unlock certain tricks, and therefore they get the utility score because they're specific for that. Now, the Subrosa Salvador has a tri-molly frame, meaning it has slightly more chromoly in the frame than the Wethepeople CRS. The CRS only has a chromoly down tube. Both these forks have a little bit of chromoly in them, but the bars on the Subrosa Salvador are full chromoly. Both these bikes have single wall rims, and the Subrosa Salvador has 5 aftermarket parts where the Wethepeople CRS only has 4. Because of this, the Salvador is going to score a 3.75 in the quality section. And because the price is about the same and the quality score is higher on the Salvador, it's also going to score higher in the value score. Now, because of that, the Wethepeople CRS is eliminated. It had more color options, but that wasn't enough for it to beat the Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster. The Salvador Free Coaster is going to move on. It has higher quality frame and bars. It has a better quality score, a higher value factor, and more aftermarket parts. This bike is also lighter. The Wethepeople CRS is going to be eliminated, and the Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster is going to move on to the next bracket and face either the Total Killabee or the Stranger Level. All right, so now let's take the Total Killabee and the Stranger Level and compare these bikes head to head. Before I start, I've got to say I really hate both of these bikes. I don't think you should buy either of them. If you're watching this, just skip it, find something better, get a free bike recommendation, whatever it is. Like, these bikes will not be on there. Personally, when I set this up, when I started making this, the Killabee was way overpriced, like $550. The Stranger Level was also $500 some dollars. Way overpriced. And within a few months, these prices came way down. I think the Killabee went on sale for like $250. The Stranger Level went on sale for like $250. So the brands realized, hey, people aren't buying this because they realize this is a total scam. So let's mark it down a lot. And they marked it down. And at these markdown prices, like, that's fine. That's a fine price for the bike. The prices that they marked it down to, like, 50% off, that's good. But the issue I have is the high price that they introduced, especially amidst the bike crisis when no one could find bikes in stock. They did it just to take advantage of people. The Total Killabee has the Killabee frame marketed, and this is an aftermarket frame. The Killabee frame is $400, but that's not the frame that they put on the bike. However, they kind of led people to believe that for the price, this is an aftermarket frame and a great bike, and this is a complete trash bike for $500. I literally can't get over that. Like, that is the biggest scam thing that I've ever seen. And they said it's high tensile steel, but they said Killabee, like, it's just misleading. They're taking advantage of people. And same with the Stranger Level. It is not a very good bike. It's very overpriced. Now, like I said, both of these bikes have come down in price since then, but we're going to go ahead and run it as if these bikes were not actually marked down. So let's take a look at both of these bikes. Prices, like I said, $550 for each of them. The Stranger Level has a free coaster version that's going to cost $600. The Stranger Level is just a tiny bit lighter at 25 pounds. They both only come in one different size option, 3 color options, and they're both core BMX brands. Stranger supports riders, they support BMX, and so does Total. So nobody's losing a point there. But the Stranger Level comes with a free coaster option, which does give it a point in the utility score. Now, the Stranger Level is just a little bit better than the Killabee. It has a teeny tiny bit of chromoly, just like one chromoly tubing. The Killabee only has high tensile steel frame. This is where it's crazy to me. Both these bikes have high tensile steel forks, high tensile steel bars, but the Killabee comes with double wall rims. Now, I don't think these are quality double wall rims, but they're double wall rims, so we're going to give the Killabee the point there. But the Stranger Level comes with 4 different aftermarket parts, and the Killabee comes with 0. So the Stranger Level is going to take the point there. And the value factor on the Killabee is technically better because it scored higher in quality, and it's about the same price as the Level. But like I said, don't buy either of these bikes. You shouldn't even be this far into the video, honestly. Like, just skip it. Don't buy either, okay? Research something else. But anyway, because of that, the value factor is higher, the quality score is higher for the Killabee. We're still going to move the Stranger Level on to the next round. Even though the Killabee had double wall rims and slightly better quality, I hate this bike. I think it's very misleading. Now, Stranger Level had a little bit better quality in the frame, lots of aftermarket parts, a free coaster option, and it's slightly lighter. So the Killabee is going to lose. It's going to go over there with the Wethepeople CRS, and the Stranger Level is going to move on and go against the Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster. So next, let's take a look at the Fit Street and put it up against the Division Fortiz. The Division is a bike on Dan's comp. It's also been marked down like the Killabee and like the Level, but I still think this is a decent quality bike. And even at the price that it came out at, the value was there. So these markdown prices that you're going to see for the Division make this bike even more valuable. They skimped on quality in some areas, but overall, it's a good value bike. All right. The Fit Street, in my opinion, all of Fit's bikes are slightly overpriced, but we'll talk about that later. All right. Speaking of overpriced, the Fit Street is anywhere between $503 to $600, depending on if you get the free coaster version, the normal version, the size you get, all of those things. The Division Fortiz came out at $589. The Fit Street weighs a pound less than the Division Fortiz at 27.7 pounds. You can choose between 2 different size options on the Fit Street and 5 different color options. Fit is doing very well at giving people tons of options. Even if they're expensive options, you get tons of options. Fit is a core BMX brand. They do so much for the sport. They support riders, they support jams, they give money back to the BMX economy. While Division, there's not very much information out there about them. So I'm going to go ahead and put no on the core BMX brand. If somebody knows more about Division than me, let me know. I'll be glad to change that. But from what I can tell, they're very similar to Mafia and Elite and those brands that really suck from the economy and don't do too much in terms of giving back and supporting BMX riders. Because of the pegs and the free coaster option, the Fit Street is going to score a utility score. It's a better bike for street riding. It's designed specifically for that, so it gets a point in the utility score. When we look at quality, the Division Fortiz scores a point because it's a full chromoly frame. It also has chromoly forks, chromoly bars, double wall rims. Okay, so quality wise, the Fortiz really steps it up. It doesn't have as many options, but the quality is definitely there. The Fit comes with 3 aftermarket parts, but the Fortiz scores a 6.75 in quality and an 11.46 in value. This is a very good bang for your buck bike, and at this updated price that I was talking about, it makes it even more valuable. Okay, and so because of that, they both really scored the same amount of points. The Fit Street is lighter. It has more size options. It has more color options. It's a core BMX brand. It comes with pegs and a free coaster option. The Division Fortiz really won in quality because it has higher quality frame, forks, and bars. Frame, forks, bars, and rims, and it has a better value factor. Overall, I'm going to move the Division on forward because of the value. A lot of my reviews, a lot of my content is very value focused, but just know the Fit Street and the Division Fortiz really tied here. But because of the value, I think the Fit bikes are slightly overpriced. I'm going to go ahead and move the Division forward because I think it's a better value. And when you've got limited budget, you've got to get the best bang for your buck. Value is very, very important. So Division's moving on. It's either going to go against the Hoffman Psycho or the Sunday Scout. Those are the bikes we'll talk about next. Okay, the Hoffman Psycho versus the Sunday Scout. I don't like either of these bikes. I think the Hoffman Psycho is overpriced for what it is. I think the Sunday Scout is also overpriced for what it is. So this is going to be another one of those. If you're researching the Scout, it's going to go on sale. It'll be okay when it's on sale. At the full price, not very good. The Psycho, not very good unless you're a huge Hoffman fan. This bike might have some collectability. It might be worth some money later on because it's a collectible. But again, neither one of these for this price range. Now, if these were under 500, that'd be a different story. But where they sit right now, overpriced. Overpriced, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to put them head to head and see which one moves on to the next contest, okay? The Hoffman Psycho's $600. The Sunday Scout's anywhere from $519 to $540. The Sunday Scout weighs 26.82 pounds. We don't know the weight of the Hoffman Psycho, so the Scout's going to go ahead and get a point there. The Scout comes in 2 different size options. The Hoffman Psycho only comes in 1. The Scout has 4 color options. The Hoffman Psycho only comes in 2. And they're both core BMX brands. They both do a lot for the sport, but neither of them have any kind of specific utility. Next is the quality section, and the Hoffman Psycho is better quality. It has a tri-molly frame. The Sunday Scout only has a teeny tiny bit, a chromoly down tube, that's it. So the Sunday Scout's not as good quality in the frame. The forks on the Hoffman Psycho are full chromoly. The bars on the Hoffman Psycho are full chromoly. Both these bikes have single wall rims, and the Sunday Scout gets one aftermarket part, and that's it. The Hoffman Psycho has 0. The quality of the Hoffman Psycho is better, so it's going to get a point on the quality score, and therefore it's going to get a point on the value score. Because of that, this $600 bike is moving on. The Sunday Scout is not. The Hoffman Psycho has better quality frame, forks, and bars. It's the 30-year anniversary bike, so it may be worth some money later on if you were to resell it because it's kind of special. There's no weight or geometry available on this bike, and that could have helped it out quite a bit, or hurt it, I guess, quite a bit if we had known the weight and the geometry. Now with the Sunday Scout, it is cheaper, and it has more size options, it has more color options, and it has one more aftermarket part. But that is not enough to beat the Hoffman Psycho. The Hoffman Psycho is going to move on to the next round and go against the division Fortiz. And we'll see which one of those two is better. But the Hoffman Psycho is going to move on. The Sunday Scout, I do not recommend either of these, but it's going to go next to the Total Killabee, the Fit Street, and the Wethepeople CRS in the loser circle. Let's talk about the Fit Park and the Wethepeople Justice next. Now the Fit Park and the Wethepeople Justice are both pretty solid bikes. I recommend the Fit Park to certain riders periodically when they need something small and compact and also lightweight. The Justice, I wish it was full chromoly because most people can just step up and buy the Reason instead of the Justice, but it is still a solid bike. It comes with those hub guards, and you'll have to watch the in-depth review about both of these. Let's compare the two. Let's see which one is actually going to move on into the next round. So the Fit Park is quite a bit cheaper. It's going to be between $515 and $550 depending on which option you go with. The Justice is right at $600. The Justice weighs less at 25.75 pounds. This is a really good weight. The Fit Park's a little bit heavier than the Justice, so if you're a weight weenie, really consider that. The Park comes in 2 different top tube size options, a 20.00 or a 20.5 inch option. The Justice only has one option for you to choose from, so you don't really get a choice. The Fit Park comes in 3 different color options, while the Justice only comes in 2 in 2021. The 2023 models were announced recently, and with that, the Justice does have 3 different options, so that would actually give it, tie the points right there. But when I made the slide, the 2023 wasn't out, so that we're not going to count. But you guys watching in the future, just know they have the same amount of color options, so this could throw the points just a little bit. Both of these brands are core BMX brands, but the Fit Park is utility specific. It's designed for park specific riding because of the snappy and responsive geometry, the park specific upgrades, and the gyro braking system. When we look at quality, they're both tri-molly, but the forks on the Justice are full chromoly. The bars on the Justice are also full chromoly, and it has 1 double wall rim in the back, while the Fit Park has 0 double wall rims. The Justice comes with 5 aftermarket parts, and the Fit Park only comes with 2. This makes the Justice a higher quality bike with a 5.5 quality score, and giving it a much higher value score at 9.21. So because of that, the Fit Park is going to lose. The Justice is going to move on. The Fit Park has more size options, more color options, and it's park specific, but that wasn't enough to beat the Justice better quality frame, forks, bars, and rims. The Justice is lighter, it has a higher value factor, and it has more aftermarket parts. So the Fit Park is going to go over with the Fit Street, its buddy, and the Justice is going to move on and either face the Cult Devotion or the Hoffman Seeker. One of those two. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the Cult Devotion and the Hoffman Seeker. Nothing against Hoffman, but the complete bikes that were released are terrible. They're way overpriced for the quality. I'm not a huge fan of it, but we're going to actually put these 2 bikes side by side. We're going to see which one's better with tangible evidence. So when we look at the price of these bikes, the Cult Devotion is slightly more expensive than the Hoffman Seeker. The weight of the Hoffman Seeker is going to win the point there because Cult doesn't list the weight of the bikes. It is the biggest headache trying to find what weight Cult bikes are, how much Cult bikes weigh. It's a big, huge headache. So you know what? Colt's not getting a point here because the information's not out there. They always have to be determined. It's like, how hard is it to weigh the bikes before you send them out? Just give us a number, you know? So anyway, the Hoffman Seeker's scoring a point. And if the Devotion loses because of that, like, oh well, you know, sell more Hoffman Seekers than Cult Devotions because Colt's too lazy to put the weight. That drives me crazy. But oh well, they both have one size option. The Cult Devotion comes in 3 different color options. If you're able to find the Anthony Panza signature colorway in stock, it's 3 options, but that one's really hard to find right now. And in general, I think it's completely sold out. So then it's only 2 options, but there's 3 options floating around there. Both of these bikes are core BMX brands. Hoffman does a lot for the sport. Cult does a lot for the sport, but neither of these bikes are specific one way or another. They don't really get a utility factor score. Though the Devotion's designed for street riding, it's going to score better on the Dougsterbob app for dirt riding. And now quality-wise, the Devotion is full chromoly frame, full chromoly forks, and full chromoly bars. The Hoffman Seeker, out of all that, only has chromoly bars, okay? Only chromoly bars. The Devotion has Cult match double wall rims front and back. The Hoffman Seeker has single wall rims. The Devotion has 4 aftermarket parts. The Hoffman Seeker has 0 aftermarket parts. And because of that, the Devotion scores a 7.5 in quality and a 13.16 in value. The Devotion is obviously going to win here. The Hoffman Seeker is going to lose. The Devotion has more color options, better quality frame, forks, bars, and rims, higher quality score, higher value score, and more aftermarket parts. The Hoffman Seeker is potentially lighter, question mark. It has a gyro, so that's going to give it some more park score when you look in the Dougsterbob app. And sad face. That's all. That's all I got about the Hoffman Seeker. So the Devotion is obviously the better choice here. I don't know, if you want to buy Hoffman bikes, the highest priced Hoffman bike is half decent, but that's it. The rest of these are way overpriced for the quality and I just stay away from it. The Devotion is one of the better bikes in general for 2022, for 2023. The Devotion comes out, it's always a banger bike. It's close to the $500 price range, full chromoly double wall rims, like quality is there, value is there. This is a great bike and it's way better than the Seeker. Now, the Hoffman Seeker is going to sit next to all of the other loser bikes in the loser circle. The Cult Devotion is going to go against the Wethepeople Justice. Next, we need to take a look at the Fit Trail and the Redline Random to see which bike of those is actually better. Okay, now let's look at the Fit Trail and the Redline Random. The Redline Random, I think, was a kind of a short-lived deal. I think it either sold out or was discounted so bad that they all disappeared. Maybe they're all in a ditch somewhere. I don't know, but overall, it wasn't a terrible bike. The Fit Trail, we all know what the trail is. This is the only bike in Fit's complete line to have one double wall rim. The rest of Fit's bikes only have single wall rims. This has a double wall rim in the back. I like the trail specificity. It has a bigger sprocket. It's trail specific, but anyway, let's compare the 2 bikes side by side. Let's see which bike is actually better. The Redline Random is more expensive than the Fit Trail. This is as it came out. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's been discounted, but I'm not 100% sure. The weight of these 2 bikes is very close, but the Random is slightly lighter than the Fit Trail. The Fit Trail comes in 2 different size options and 4 different color options. Fit is a core BMX brand. I'm going to say Redline is not. Now, whoa, before you crucify me. Redline was, back in the past, they did a lot for BMX, everything like that. But as freestyle developed, you don't see them contributing at all. One of my first bikes before I even started BMX was a Redline. It was a Redline. They go more towards racing. And then they kind of just make a few freestyle bikes here and there just to kind of milk the money. I don't know. I don't know what Redline's up to, but they're not going to get a point for core BMX brand. But Fit is. Fit is good. Fit does a lot for the sport, even though I'm disappointed in their bikes. Like I said, Fit Trail is utility specific for trail riding. It's one of the best bikes you can get for trail specificity. This is one of the best bikes you can get for riding trails because it's got a lot of upgrades, and the way the geometry is designed, it's going to excel at riding trails. Your next best option is like the Wethepeople Revolver, which is a $1,200 bike. It's 3 times the price of the trail, but it's way better quality and it still is good for dirt. Anyway, let's look at the quality of these two bikes. The Redline Random's frame is actually full chromoly. The forks have some chromoly in them, and the bars are full chromoly. So the Redline Random's destroying the Fit Trail in quality. The Redline Random has double wall rims, while the Fit Trail only has one double wall rim in the back. The Trail has 2 aftermarket parts, but the quality score of the Random is going to be a 6.25 and a value score of 10.98. So the Random in the quality section just absolutely destroyed the Fit Trail. It's $20, $30, $40 more expensive than the Trail, but quality-wise, the Random's going to last a lot longer. So the Trail's going to lose, sadly. Even though the Trail had more color options, more size options, more aftermarket parts, and Fit doing a lot for BMX, it wasn't enough to beat the Redline Random's better quality, frame, forks, bars, and rims, better value factor that's way lighter, and yeah, the Random's going to be a better choice, especially when we talk about value, when we talk about quality. The Fit Trail is not going to be the best choice. Now, if you're actually considering these two and you didn't get a recommendation, the only time I'd recommend the Fit Trail to somebody is if you're really looking to ride dirt. This long, mellow geometry of the trail is going to make it really comfortable when you're riding dirt, when you're riding pump tracks. But when you want something that's a good value and you're not sure what kind of discipline you ride, the Trail is overpriced, and that's it. You know, if you're looking for dirt riding, the Trail is a good choice, and it's okay to pay a little bit extra for that because you're not going to find very many bikes with a bigger sprocket, with good dirt-specific tires and good dirt geometry. But for the most part, people don't know what they're doing. So anyway, if that's you, if you don't know what you're doing, the Redline Random is going to be a much better bike. And so it's going to move on, and it's going to go against either the Kink Switch or the Wethepeople Arcade. The Fit Trail goes into the loser corner. It's really sad to see the Fit Street, the Fit Park, and the Fit Trail all lost. Now, if they'd gone up against some of the Hoffman bikes, they might have made it farther along in the series, but they're not doing so good. That's pretty disappointing for Fit. Anyway, that's the Redline Random and the Fit Trail. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the Kink Switch and the Wethepeople Arcade. I like both of these bikes. The Kink Switch is maxing out this price here. It's currently on sale for closer to $500. The 2022 model is, because the 2023 models are coming out. I don't know if you're watching this when 2022 is out or 2023 is out, but as of right now, it's $600 on sale for like $509. It's a really good deal. The Wethepeople Arcade is a lower price, lower quality bike, but let's see how they fare. Let's see how, let's go head to head with these. Let's check it out. So like I said, the Kink Switch is $600. The Wethepeople Arcade is only $519. They both weigh about the same, which is pretty crazy. The Switch comes with pegs and hub guards. The Arcade only comes with hub guards, but they weigh 27.7 pounds. The Wethepeople Arcade has 2 different size options to choose from, while the Kink Switch only comes in a 20.75 inch top tube option. The Wethepeople Arcade has 2 different color options to choose from. The Kink Switch only comes in one. And both these brands are core BMX brands. They do a lot for the sport, but the Switch is going to get a point for being street specific. It's got a free coaster, it's got pegs, it's got hub guards. It's a very street specific bike, and the Dougsterbob scoring system reflects that for it. Now, when we look at quality, the Wethepeople Arcade is almost tri-moly, and that's nothing compared to the Kink Switch's full chromoly. The Kink Switch has full chromoly forks, full chromoly bars, double wall rims, and 5 aftermarket parts. So because of this, it's going to score 7.5 in quality and a 12.5 in value. It scored a perfect score when we looked at the quality stuff here. The Wethepeople Arcade couldn't even compare to it. It's got some chromoly in the frame, some chromoly in the forks, no chromoly in the bars. Like, it's just a low quality bike, and you can see that by looking at the 2.5 quality score versus the 7.5 quality score of the Switch. And because of that, the Kink Switch is going to win. The Wethepeople Arcade is not going to make it to the next round. The Kink Switch has better quality frame, forks, bars, and rims. It's a street-specific bike. It's got a better value factor, and it's got more aftermarket parts. The We the People Arcade has more color options, more size options, and it's cheaper, but that's it. Okay. The Kink switch is moving on, and it's going to go against the Redline Random. This is going to be an absolute disaster for the Redline, but we'll play it through. We'll see how it goes. And the We the People Arcade isn't going to make it any farther. So back up in the second round, both of these bikes have passed round 1, and now they're on round 2. They're going head to head against each other. The Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster versus the Stranger Level. The Salvador Free Coaster is way cheaper than the Stranger Level at the full retail price. Like I said in the other video and earlier about the Stranger Level, the level has gone on sale for, what makes an affordable price. But at the retail price, at the absolute scam price that Stranger released this bike at, it's $539 to $599 based on the free coaster version or the not free coaster version. The Stranger Level weighs almost a whole pound less than the Subrosa Salvador free coaster. Now, both these bikes only come in one size option, but the Stranger Level comes in 3 different color options. They're both core BMX brands. They both do a lot for the sport. And because they both have free coaster options or are the free coaster option, they're both going to score a point in utility. Now let's take a look at quality. The Subrosa Salvador free coaster is a tri-moly frame, while the Stranger Level only has a tiny bit of chromoly. The Stranger Level does not have any chromoly in the forks, so the Subrosa Salvador is going to get a point here. The Salvador has full chromoly bars. Both these bikes have single wall rims, but the Salvador has 5 different aftermarket parts. The quality score of the Salvador is 3.75, and because of that and the very low price, the value score is going to be 7.37, which is way higher, almost double the value score of the Stranger Level. So obviously the Subrosa Salvador is the clear winner here. It's not even a debate. It's got higher quality frame, forks, and bars. It's a cheaper bike. It's got more aftermarket parts, and it has a higher value factor. The Stranger Level's lighter. It has more color options, but that's about it. The Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster is clearly the better bike. It's going to move on into the next round and face either the Hoffman Psycho or the Division Fortiz, and we'll see how it does. It's really doing well moving along here, and I just finished up the in-depth review about the Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster. I'll put that on the screen right here. Okay, next let's take a look at the Division Fortiz and the Hoffman Psycho. This is a round 2 competition. Both of these bikes have moved on from round 1. They made it to the next level, and now they're going head to head. The Division Fortiz is $589. The Hoffman Psycho is $600. The Division Fortiz currently is on sale, and like I said, at the sale price, at the full price, this is a pretty good value bike. At the sale price, this is an extra good value bike. It weighs 28.7 pounds, which is pretty heavy. The Hoffman Psycho doesn't have a weight listed, so the Division's going to get the point here. Both of these bikes only come in one size option, and they both come in 2 different color options. I'm going to give Hoffman a point for being a core BMX brand. Division, I don't see very much from them as far as contributing to the sport. Neither of these bikes are specific for any kind of riding, so nobody's going to get a utility point here. The frame on the Fortiz is full chromoly, while the Hoffman Psycho only has a tri-moly frame. Both of these bikes have full chromoly forks and full chromoly bars, but the Division Fortiz has double wall rims and it has 0 aftermarket parts, and so does the Hoffman Psycho. No aftermarket parts here. But overall, the Division Fortiz scores a 6.75 in quality, which is double the score of the Hoffman Psycho, and the value score is also going to be double the score of the Psycho. So the Division Fortiz obviously takes the win here. There's no question about it. It's a much better bike. It has a higher quality frame and rims. It has a higher value factor. It's probably lighter, and it's also cheaper. The Hoffman Psycho does a lot for the brand, but that's it. And that's not enough to beat the Fortiz. So the Division Fortiz is going against the Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster, and we'll see which bike is actually better. That is going to be round 3. Next, we're going to take a look at the We the People Justice and compare it to the Cult Devotion. Okay, the Cult Devotion and the We the People Justice. I've got the the titles switched around here, but I'm not going to mess with it. Anyway, you can tell by the picture which bike is which. And I love the Cult Devotion. I'm a fan of both of these bikes, but price to quality, the Devotion wins every time. But let's look at way more than that. Let's see which bike is actually better and which bike you should buy. The Wethepeople Justice is $597, while the Cult Devotion is $569. They're pretty close in price, but the Justice is more expensive. The Justice is also going to get a point here for weight because Cult doesn't list their weight. I rant about this all the time. I wish they would just tell me a weight. So the Justice is going to win. Rumor is that the Devotion's 25 pounds, but I don't see the concrete evidence, so Justice wins every time. Both of these bikes only come in one size option, but the Devotion comes in 3 different color options, while the Justice only comes in 2. Both brands are core BMX brands who do a lot for the sport, and neither of these bikes are specific for any type of riding, so nobody's going to get a utility score point. When we talk about quality, the Devotion obviously wins for the frame quality because it's full chromoly. The Justice and the Devotion both have full chromoly forks, full chromoly bars, but the Devotion has double wall rims, while the Justice only has one double wall rim in the back. When we talk about aftermarket parts, though, Wethepeople is always very good at adding tons and tons of aftermarket parts to their bikes. The Justice has 5, the Devotion only has 4. Because of the quality, the Devotion scores a 7.5 in quality because of all the things that add up here, and it scores a 13.16 in value, making it a better quality bike and also a better value bike because it costs less than the Justice and has better quality. So because of that, the Justice is going to lose. The Devotion is going to move on to round number 3. And, it's getting pretty close to winning here. The Justice has more aftermarket parts. It might be lighter, but it wasn't enough to beat the Devotion. The Devotion has a higher quality frame, 2 double wall rims, higher value factor. It's a cheaper bike and it comes with pegs. It also has more color options, so you can choose which color you like. Anyway, the Devotion's moving on. It's going to go against either the Kink Switch or the Redline Random. The Justice is a loser next to all the other loser bikes. Next, we're going to talk about the Kink Switch and the Redline Random and see which bike is better. Okay, the Kink Switch and the Redline Random. I've ranted in the earlier part of this video. I'm not a fan of the Redline Random. The Kink Switch is one of my favorite bikes, and it's currently on sale. At full price, this is a great value bike. At sale price, it's just a mind-blowing value. So anyway, we'll see if the Redline Random even stands a chance, but I highly doubt it's gonna get very far. The Kink Switch is going to murder it. So here we go. Price, the Kink Switch is a more expensive bike by about $30, which is, this bike is right at the top of the price bracket we're considering here. And that does give it an advantage for the most part because generally more expensive bikes are going to be higher quality. But the Redline Random is actually a lighter bike. It weighs 26.3 pounds. They both only come in one size option and one color option. Kink is going to get a point here because it is a core BMX brand. It does a lot more for the sport. Redline just kind of doesn't do much. They don't sponsor any events. They don't sponsor any freestyle riders. Redline is not getting a point here, and because I said so, I get to decide, and Redline's not getting a point. The Kink Switch having a pegs, hub guards, and a free coaster makes it street specific right out of the box, so the Switch is going to get a score for utility here. Looking at quality, both of these bikes have a full chromoly frame. The Kink Switch has full chromoly forks, has full chromoly bars, but so does the Redline Random. They both come with double wall rims. The Kink Switch has 5 aftermarket parts. It scores a 7.5 in quality and a 12.5 in value. And honestly, I was a little bit worried going through here because for the most part, aside from the forks, the Redline Random's pretty similar here. It could have gone either way, to be honest, and I actually didn't expect that, and I made it. But that's crazy. Anyway, the Kink Switch is going to win. The Redline Random didn't have what it takes to beat the Kink Switch. The Kink Switch has better quality forks, a better value factor. It has more aftermarket parts, and it's street specific, and it's made by a core BMX brand. The Redline Random is lighter, and that's really it. So the Kink Switch is moving on to face the Cult Devotion. Next, we're going to look at the Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster and the Division Fortiz to see which bike moves on to the finals. All right, the Redline Random is over in the loser pile with all of the other loser bikes. Okay, both of these bikes have made it very far. This is round 3. The Subrosa Salvador has made its way along this far, beating other bikes in the contest, and so has the Division Fortiz. It's going to be interesting to see which bike wins it, although I have a feeling the Division's going to take it just because of the quality of the bike, but we'll see, you never know. Now the Salvador is at a disadvantage here because it's only a $509 bike. The Fortiz is close to the top of the budget, costing $589. The Salvador Free Coaster weighs less at 25.9 pounds. Both these bikes only have one size option, but the Fortiz comes in 2 different color options. The Salvador is made by a core BMX brand, so it's going to get a point here, and it is street specific with the Free Coaster. I like the specificity there, so it's also going to get a point for the utility. So that's 3 points for the Salvador and 1 point for the Fortiz. But let's look at quality and see what happens here. The Fortiz is going to be full chromoly frame, full chromoly forks, and they both have full chromoly bars. The Fortiz has 2 double wall rims, while the Salvador only has single wall rims. The Salvador Free Coaster has 5 different aftermarket parts, but the Fortiz scores a 6.75 in quality and an 11.46 in value. And that just right there takes home the bacon. The Division Fortiz is going to beat the Subrosa Salvador, even though the Subrosa Salvador is lighter, cheaper, a core BMX brand with a Free Coaster, and it has more aftermarket parts. The Fortiz has higher quality frame, forks, and rims. It's got a better value factor. It's got more color options. So overall, the Fortiz, when we look at quality, when we look at value, this is a better bike. So it's going to move on to the finals. The Subrosa Salvador did very good. I was impressed with how well it did. Just wasn't enough to beat the Fortiz. So it's going to go over into the loser pile next to all of these other bikes. The Fortiz is going to move on to the finals. Next, we're going to talk about the Cult Devotion or the Kink Switch to see which one of these bikes deserves a spot. Okay, the Cult Devotion and the Kink Switch. Both of these bikes come with pegs. Both of these bikes are close to the top of the price range, and they're both some of my favorite bikes overall. When you look at quality, when you look at value, I love both of these bikes, and they show up on the free bike recommendations quite a bit. The Cult Devotion costs $569, while the Kink Switch costs $599. Like I said earlier, the Kink Switch is currently on sale, and for the sale price, this is an incredible bike. For the full price, this is a great value. For $600, you're getting a great value. But for the sale price, you're getting just a mind-blowing value. It's insane. You should check it out and be like, whoa, I need this bike right now. It's probably sold out because that's how good the value is. The Kink Switch is going to get a point for weight, even though I'm pretty sure the Devotion weighs less. Cult doesn't list the weight on the website, and we got to penalize them for that. Give them a little slap on the wrist. Cult, list it on your website so that we can give our people good, accurate information. They both come in one size option. The Kink Switch is 20.75. The Devotion is a 21-inch bike. The Devotion has 3 different color options. The Kink Switch only has 1. Both of these bikes are made by core BMX brands who do a lot for the sport, but the Kink Switch is more street specific, and it's going to get a utility point here for street. They both have full chromoly frames, full chromoly forks, full chromoly bars, and double wall rims. The difference here is the Kink Switch has 5 aftermarket parts where the Devotion only has 4. The quality score of both these bikes is the same. Now, even though these bikes have the same quality score, the Devotion is going to score a better value score. That's because it's about $20 to $30 cheaper than the Kink Switch. They have the same quality, but the Devotion is cheaper. This makes it a better value bike. However, that wasn't enough to win for the Cult Devotion. The Kink Switch is still going to win. The Devotion had more color options. It's cheaper. It had a higher value factor score, but that's about it. The Kink Switch is street specific with more aftermarket parts. It's potentially lighter, and it's going to be the winner. Now, I will say if Cult had listed the weight and it was actually lighter than the Kink Switch, the Devotion would have won here, but they didn't. And so therefore the Kink Switch is going to get all the clout in this little video, and it's going to move on to the next round. The Cult Devotion just couldn't hold it together long enough. Having the weight listed for Cult would have done a lot of good things for this bike overall. The Kink Switch is going to move on against the Division Fortiz in the final round. Let's see which bike is better. Okay, the final round. The Division Fortiz has made it past 3 different bikes. The Kink Switch has also made it past 3 different bikes. Now they face off head to head. We're going to see which bike is better. I want to know what you think is going to win, so go comment right now before I move on any further in the video. Let me know which bike you think is going to win. The Division Fortiz costs $589. The Kink Switch costs $599. Like I mentioned earlier, both of these bikes are on sale, and at full price, they're very good priced bikes. They're very good value. They're good bikes for the price. On sale, they're even better. The sale price is mind-blowing because if you bought these bikes for $600, you'd be getting a good deal. Now they're around $500, you're getting a gooder deal. I know it's not a word, but you're getting a gooder deal. The Kink Switch weighs less at 27.7 pounds. They both have one size option, but the Fortiz has 2 different color options. The Kink Switch is made by a core BMX brand, while the Fortiz is not. The Kink Switch is going to score a point in utility for being street specific with the pegs, hub guards, and free coaster. When we look at quality, they're pretty similar. They both have full chromoly frame, full chromoly forks, full chromoly bars, double wall rims, but the Kink Switch has way more aftermarket parts, 5 over the Division 0. The Kink Switch scores a 7.5 in quality and a 12.5 in value. It wasn't doing so good there, but overall, the Kink Switch is a better quality bike, a better value bike, and it is going to be the winner. The Division Fortiz had more color options. It's cheaper. It has a higher value factor, but the Kink Switch is street specific with more aftermarket parts. It's potentially lighter, assuming that those weights were correct. Now, the Kink Switch is the winner here. The Division Fortiz did very good. The Cult Devotion did very good. The Subrosa Salvador Free Coaster did very good, but it wasn't enough to win. The Kink Switch took home the trophy. The Kink Switch is on sale right now. It's a very good price if you can find it in stock. The Kink Cloud is a better quality bike for close to the price of the Kink Switch. If you only have $600, fill out the free bike recommendation so that I can find a bike within your budget that's perfect for you based on your height, your budget, your skill level. Like, I really hate seeing people buy the wrong BMX bike. It's one of the things that makes me so upset. And I want to help everyone get the right bike, so fill out the free bike recommendation request so I can get that to you. If your budget is just a little bit lower, I have another video just like this on bikes under $400. There are not many good bikes under $400, but this video that I'm talking about highlights those bikes. And if you're curious about them, check that video out. I'll put it up on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the community and using me to research your BMX bikes. Check in the description because I have tons of free content designed to help BMX riders like you get better at BMX and make smarter buying decisions. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.